Alrighty. Now, already.
Yo, Mr. P-Dubs. Wait a couple minutes, see if we get some other people in here.
Excuse me, Angela Grant. Hi, my name is Grace Jones. Do you have a minute? Oh, no. I need to talk to you about the expression. I told you to no. The expression is my children. It's a long story, but I need to know them. We can talk over here. The truth is, James Griffin was just awful. Griffin had one friend in the world, and he lost him. 7 carrots. 7 treated him like his little brother. This was taken with some right against canoeing. Griffin lied, said he could swim. His canoe tipped over and dove in and pulled him right out.
If you're here on the YouTube, guys, or just see if we get a couple other people. I know that like the link is different. The link that I had was a stream. I didn't want to use the OBS, so I'm using the thing here. I'm using my Zoom so I could record everything. But we'll go ahead and get started here in a second. If you guys have charts or things that you want me to go over, I'm not expecting a whole bunch of people here, guys. I know it's later on in the evening. I know everyone's probably watching football and maybe out shopping and doing other things. So come on, think or swim. There we go. What's up, guys? Oh, we got a few people here on the YouTube. Like I said, I'm just waiting for my Thinkorswim to load up here, guys, and then we'll get this going. All right, so we'll go ahead and go over just overall sentiment and getting ready for the week here, and then and then we'll get into the coding together here. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Cruz. I'm the founder and head trader of newagewallstreet.com. I am most known for going from being homeless to over seven figures in a little over 18 months. The New Age Wall Street room is primarily options trading room. We do trade equities. The strategies can be translated to trade any type of instrument. So if you trade crypto, if you trade equity, small caps, things like that, then our strategies apply to those too. So I know it's been a while here, guys. But I'm gonna try to do this, especially with like I'm getting into like the quant side of things and automating a lot of stuff using our AI tools and coding tools and stuff like that. So as far as this week going into, we have a couple landmines and things this week that we're looking at. Oh, look at this gap up that we started here in the ES. So ES, these are the S&P futures at 39.61. These open up at let's see, 4, 5, 6 o'clock market time. Excuse me. So this is going to bring us to around 396. So the market is currently like here. Excuse me. So we have a couple things I want. Like I know I said it a couple times. On Tuesday, we have CPI numbers, so core inflation numbers, which is sometimes this filters for me, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll come over here and do like this. So Monday here tomorrow, we don't have too much. We do have, like I said, CPI. Now these are going to be kind of precedent we're kind of looking after what the PPI numbers were last week. We may see a little bit better numbers right here on the CPI, which would mean that the market will rally here a little bit, but I'm going to go over a couple things with that. So this is Tuesday, and then Wednesday we have Fed meeting. So FOMC statement at 2 o'clock market time on Wednesday. And then on Friday, there's not anything here on Friday as far as the news or anything, but we do have where the open interest and the way that the option, it is the quarterly expiration and quarterly monthly expiration. And we have a crap ton of gamma that is going to be falling off. So that's going to actually be on the 16th. And we'll go over that here real quick, just before we get into the actual chart. I kind of want to outline the way that this looks here for us. So to the downside here, we're at 396, but here is our put wall at the 390s. This is 81,000 on the put side right here. This is going to act as our support. And to the upside here at 400, we have 86,000. So you can see everything in between right here. Everything in between right here is a lot less. Now we also have right here, 395 is also our bigger area of interest, right in between, kind of like I talk about our teeter totter to the members and what have you. So landmines, yeah. So they may want to try to get the price to be right above this 395 by at least Friday, and they expire over that 395 area. Maybe pin the price on there. It's gonna depend a lot on the CPI numbers and the FOMC statement, the way that it goes. I think we get a pretty nice reaction out of it, but this is kind of our range that we have put in right here is this 390 up to this 400. And so I expect us to kind of stay within this range and not close the end of the week, anything outside of it, unless we get something like absolutely crazy. I kind of expect us to stay within that range because of how much open interest in gamma that we have. Then the following week, which would be actually Monday, which is my birthday, we may be able to move a little bit more freely since we did get the PPI numbers, CPI numbers, FOMC out the way. Then we will be able to have a little bit more volatility. And the only thing that I could see that would kind of prohibit us from not being so volatile is just Christmas coming up and just lack of participation in the market. But there's also people that are having to sell and kind of manage their portfolios for end of the year for tax purposes and things like that. And that's why that's why they believe that we got this little downtick over this last week was some selling for tax purposes and things like that. So I do want to go over the chart a little bit here, like from a bigger standpoint. I'm gonna just go ahead and put my stuff in here. You could see that within this hourly chart, we have put in this range here from, we did get to 410, but we just got this big old range here, this channel that we put in from, again, this 400 down to the 390, 391 area. And again, I don't see us being anywhere near that. So tomorrow, my plan is to actually not take any trades tomorrow. I think that we're just going to wind up going sideways. Everyone's kind of positioned in already and going to wait for the announcement from PP or CPI and then the Fed announcement. So we will get some reaction. The CPI numbers come out before the open on Tuesday. So we'll get the reaction right at the open. I will trade that, a little bit of that action, and then wait until Wednesday afternoon for the continuation, whichever way we go on that. But tomorrow, I believe tomorrow is going to be more of a non-event day. Everyone kind of, like I said, already positioned in, and we'll see. We'll just wait for the catalyst. So that's pretty much overall market sentiment for those. I didn't put together a watch list. I'll do that next week. Put together a little bit better of a watch list and stuff for you guys and go over some other stuff. But I do really want to go over really want to go over with you guys the coding thing. So if you guys got your pen and paper here ready, we'll start going over that. So I'm gonna bring up my notes. I'm gonna make a little notepad thing right here. Oh, there we go. All right, so a couple things that you want to, I'm going to put in here for you guys to make notes too. So the things that we're going to be talking about are inputs. And this is more, so the inputs are more directly correlated with Thinkorswim and like trading platforms. So inputs, and input is where I'm going to go ahead and put user defined. So user defined parameters. That doesn't look right, but we're going to go ahead and roll with it. And then what I really wanted to get in this lesson here for you today, guys, is variables and functions. As far as us coding. So a variable is it is something that you define within your actual code. So so defined, I want to make sure I use the right word. So define class or name, define name, I guess. And then a function is, it's a declaration of how something should work. All right, so that's going to be our beginning part. And so what we're basically going to do here, and I've already erased it. Actually, I could put it in here because I coded it earlier just to make sure. So EMA. Did it not save? I guess it didn't save. So I was going to show you what it's going to do. So basically what we're going to do is whenever we're going to put to where there, and I'm going to take everything off of our chart here. So we're going to do remove all, right? And basically what we're going to do is if we put two EMAs in here, MOV, moving average, exponential. So we'll do exponential moving average on these ones. And so I like to use the 9 and 13 here, guys, for like intraday momentum. So we're going to go ahead and put one of these as 13. Right, so there's the 9 and 13, and we're going to press apply, and that's going to show you right here. It's going to plot the 9 and 13 EMA, right? So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to make the chart plot arrows whenever the fast EMA crosses to the upside, and then whenever it crosses to the downside here again. So to make this where you could see a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and color this differently. So we'll go ahead and just make this purple. And then you could see a little bit better here where the EMA here cross to the upside, or the blue one, excuse me, the blue one right here, cross to the upside. And that, so it would indicate here to that it's gonna a buy signal. And then right here, when it crosses back down, this would indicate a sell, right? So let me see here. Our note on that one. All right, so basically here, you're gonna come in on your thing script. And one thing I wanna go over is that whenever you're everyone thinks that coding is super, super, super hard. Most places that have good coding or like that are reputable places, they're gonna have what's called documentation. So for things script, you have think right here. So you go to the Learning Center thing script right here, technical analysis, and then it's going to give you pretty much a rundown of how the whole thing script works. It even says, how do I learn, reserved, and it has everything in here that you need. These are called libraries. So docs or libraries is what they're called. And basically these are all the variables or functions within Thinkorswim and how you define to go ahead and use them. So like if you want to do, if you want to declare to hide your indicator on the daily, then you could do that. If you want to make it to where, say, you even got different actual indicators in here. So you could do CCI, you have condensed candles, things like that. But anything that you could pretty much think of in the way to code is going to be in here, and you could search for what you need. So say like you want to do, go back, so thing script. So operators right here is going to tell you how to do the arithmetic. So how to do comparisons. So a double equal sign equals is equal to, and how you can write it out in here. So my point being in showing you all this is that you don't have to like guess to know how to do any of this stuff. It's already written in here on most of your stuff. Even like if you do TradingView has the same thing where you it has the docs on how to do this. So basically what you're gonna do then is you have this, and then see if I could put this kind of like to the side to show you how I do it. You're gonna come to create. Then up here, you're going to come and you're going to name your indicator, whatever you want to call it. So we'll do EMA crossover. And it doesn't matter. This right here, you could go ahead and just get rid of. You don't need it. Basically, it's telling you to plot the price. And so the first thing you want to do is to define your inputs. So and your inputs, these are what you're going to use to measure the length of your EMA. So input is going to be our word that we're going to use, and that means that it's going to be user input that you put in, and then you're going to put equals. Oh, excuse me, you're going to name it. So it's going to be, so this will be fast. Let's call it fast length. And you're going to make this equal to we'll make this 9. So this is going to be our fast one, right? And then at the end of all your code in ThinkScript and Python, Pine script, all this, you could go ahead and put a semicolon at the end, and that basically tells the computer that you're done with this line of code right here. You're done with it. Like it's going to go ahead and run this and know what you're talking about by this first line, right? So then the second one here, you're going to go ahead and put input. And then since we have our fast length, we also need our slow length, right? So slow LENG or NGTH. And then this one's going to be equal to 12. So then you go ahead and put your semicolon, right? So what this is going to do is whenever you come in here, you're going to press OK, right? And you're going to come in here. Oh, it's not going to do it because since we don't have any anything in here as of yet. So I'll show you that bit in a second. So so these are your user-defined inputs that you have in here. And then you're also going to be able to choose, we want to be able to choose what kind of EMA or what kind of moving average, I should say, that you want to use. So whether it be simple, exponential, etc., right? So you're going to make another input, and then you're going to be average type. There we go. Hold on. So average TYPE, and then do equals, then average, then D type exponential. Oops. Oh, come on. All right, so then don't forget your semicolon. It's going to be like that. So average type, average type. And whenever this is lit up in red right here, it means that the computer doesn't understand it, and there's an error. So you wanna come down, and in any type of coding platform that you have, you're gonna have what's called a console. And so this is where you put in your code, and this is going to be your console right here. And this is where what you're writing in your code will be able to be shown right here. So it's right here, it says invalid statement input is input at 3.1. So this is going to be, it's the third line at the very beginning right here. So you have input average type equals average type exponential. Oh, I have it in there 2 times. That's why. There we go. So now it has that in there, right? So next, what you're going to need to do is to be able to, so you need to use, like we said in our thing over here, our little notepad, right? We need to define our variable, right? So our variable here in this instance is going to be our moving average. So in ThinkScript, you're going to use a function called define, where it's going to be DEF. It stands for define. And so what we're going to do is that we're going to define what the fast length is. So F fast LENGHT equals. And then what you're going to do is in your library, you're going to come over here, and we need to be able to know how Thinkorswim wants us to write the parameters for our moving average, right? So we're going to go ahead and type in moving average. There we go. So moving average right here, right? So here in this doc, it's telling us that the way we need to write this is we're going to need to say that it is the moving average, and then we're going to have an integer, the average type, a data holder, and the length of it. So in coding, there's we have to kind of go over this here as well, is that there's 3 different kinds of data that you could have in your in your code. So you're going to have strings. And so strings are going to be words. So if you want to type in moving average, right, you're going to have to type in where it's so you have a bracket like this. What is this called? Not a semicolon. It's someone want to chime in? Here's a crossover script. Yeah, I understand that there's a crossover script already in there. I'm just showing how if you want to do it yourself, then you're able to do it. The gap up on Thinkorswim is not accurate. Why is it not accurate? So strings are going to be actual words, and you need to let the code know that it's going to be a word. So you put in these quotations, and then you would type in moving average. So then the code is going to know that that is moving average, right? Then you also going to have integers. So integers are going to be whole numbers. So they could be written as int or integers. And these are going to be like, 0 through 9, and they're whole numbers, right? So anything that has a decimal point in it is going to be called a float. So floats are going to be numbers that have a decimal point in it. So it'd be like if you put 1.67, 2.5, whatever, you're going to define that as a float. All right. So in this instance, and what we're defining and what we're putting in right here, you're going to put in your moving average, right? So the way that our documentation says over here, right? You're going to put, man, it keeps on coming off. Moving average. This is more to show you how to put in the code than actually doing the actual crossover. I know that there's a crossover study already in here. So you're going to come in, and so right here, how it tells you to put it in, right? You want to put in moving average. Oh, so moving. And then you're going to define the moving average by putting your bracket. Oh, I don't want to do, I'm loading my platform. What's the price on anything else, dude? All right, sorry about that. All right, so then you're going to come back over here to your documentation, like I said, and we need the average type, right? So you're going to type in, since we already have average type already written up here, like that. All right, so we have average type. We're going to go ahead and use that and call that. So we're going to do average type and use that. And then whenever you have in there, you put a comma. So you're done with this part of it. And then the next one here you're going to do is where it says fundamental. So price period, aggregation period. So basically you want to know how it's going to calculate it. So basically we're going to go ahead and do is that at the close price of the candle, that's how we're going to go ahead and calculate it. Okay. And then in Python, ThinkScript, PineScript, close also means the very last tick that is that has just elapsed. So say like you're halfway through the candle, and that candle has not finished closing as of yet, then this is going to be the last tick that it's corresponding on. And then the last thing you're going to do is right here where it says length. So how far back do you want to go on your length? So in this instance, since we already went ahead and we put our fast length right here, and this is our fast length on here, we're going to go ahead and use our input that we have, and we're going to put fast LENGH length. And then we're going to go ahead and close our bracket here, and then put our semicolon, and then it's all in here. So, and then this is showing us an error because I already have the input fast length. I'm already used it as once. So I'm going to go ahead and add EMA to this. So then it knows it to be different. And so then we're going to go ahead and do our small one, or excuse me, our slow one here a little bit more quickly. We're going to put slow LEGHTH EMA, and then the same thing again. So moving average, and then we're going to go ahead and say that whatever you put in here, right, whatever you select is going to be what type of moving average it's going to be. So average type, and then we're going to use the close price, and then we're going to use our slow length that is input in here by our user, right? So we're going to put slow LENGHT, right? So close our bracket, go ahead and do that, and then it gives us the okay that everything is all set right here, right? So all right. So then the next part is we need to be able to define our buy signal, right? So the way that we would define our buy signal on this is whenever the fast line, the fast EMA is our fast EMA is above our slow EMA, right? So the way that you do this is just basically just grade school arithmetic here. So you're going to do where you need to define a buy signal, right? So this is what your variable again. So this is your variable right here. This is your fast length EMA, and this is your slow length EMA. And then you're going to go ahead and put buy signal. So you define buy signal, and there, whenever you're doing your what do you call it? Variables and stuff like this, you can't put a gap, like you can't put a space in between them like this. So signal and then equals. So the computer doesn't understand whenever there's a gap in between like this. So if you're going to put a gap, you need to either put an underscore in here, and then it understands, and I'll show you once it's all written out. So then it's on there. So you either need to put an underscore or just put it together like this. All right, I personally like just having it together. It's fine like that. So then what you're going to do is define what your buy signal would be, right? So we said, so when the fast length EMA is greater than the slow LENGHT EMA, and then here's our semicolon, right? So our buy signal is going to be whenever the fast length EMA is over and greater than our slow length EMA, right? And then our sell signal, so we're going to put def. And just to show you guys here real quick what I was talking about, this space, if I go ahead and put a space there, it's going to go ahead and it's going to read out this whole thing and throw the error, right? So again, you either need to come in and put in underscore, and then it says it's okay, right? So if not an underscore, you could go ahead and just do it like that, and it's fun like that too. So one thing that you want to, if you want to notate your code, there's a couple ways you could do this. In ThinkScript, you could do kind of like a hashtag, right? So you could, these are kind of notes to yourself and as a coder that you put in what you're talking about right in here. So we're putting in, say we do buy / sell conditions. And so we understand that right here, what we're doing is our buy and sell conditions right here. And you see how it's grayed out right here? That means that that the computer is not going to read this line of code right here. So it's going to skip this and then go right here and execute this line of code this isn't valid right here. This is just for you as a human to understand that you're just notating and keeping things neat for yourself right here. And Pine script, if you're doing Pine script, you get they'll have it as you do 2 backslashes. Obviously, we're doing ThinkScript, so it's gonna code out right here. It's gonna throw an error, but it'll turn gray. You just do 2 slashes and do like that. Okay, so you could keep things neat. Do by style conditions right here, and then you come in and you'll do def. We're gonna define our cell signal. And then we're going to do equals fast lenghema is less than slow length EMA. And then don't forget your semicolon. Bam. And so when then the computer recognizes that it's that is correct. We're good to go on that. All right. And so now what we need to do is to be able to tell it, we could actually go ahead and if we wanted to plot just by signal like this, I forgot how set painting strategy, and then it's going to be I think it's Boolean. No, it's not going to do it. So I don't remember, but what basically here, what you're saying, what we need to do is we need to make it tell the computer, because if we have it plot the way that we have right here, so anytime that the fast length of our fast EMA is above the slow EMA, it's going to tell it to that the condition is true, right? So basically then what you're saying is that, and we could go ahead and zoom out of this here a little bit. So any of this area right here where the blue is over the purple, this is all true right here. So it's going to wind up plotting a bunch of arrows and things all over the place right here, that this is correct. So you don't, all you want is one by trigger, right? So you just want one by trigger and one cell trigger over here. So what we need to do is what's called linear regression here. And so what I want you to think about is, on this type of instance, is that, and I don't want to get too deep into this, but in order to make this work, you kind of got to know this. So linear regression deals with plots of variables being true, so data. And so basically what you want to think about this is like a computer doesn't understand that you're writing an A, right? So it knows A as like Morse code, where it would be, X, this XX, whatever, like something like that, right? So zeros and ones, so binary code where it's going to be a 0 or a 1, right? So I guess I could do it more like that. So 1 1 0 0, like that. So like I don't know what the actual binary code is for A, but a computer just understands that an A equals the binary code of this, right? So what we need to do is be able to make either a true or false type statement on within our code, right? So we're either going to assign it to where it equals 1, where it's true, or 0, where it's not true. All right. So what we're going to do here is come back over here to our code. And we're going to write in, we're going to define define an entry trigger. All right, so define entry trigger right here, all one word in our equals. And then, so then what we're gonna say is if our buy signal, so if buy signal, right? Which means if the buy signal is triggered, right? The fast length EMA is above the slow length EMA, then we're gonna go ahead and equal that to 1. Right, which is going to be, which in the computer terms is going to understand it as being true. And so then, or else, if, and then what we're going to do is a new kind of thing here, a new declaration. So this, when you have an exclamation point like this before your variable, so if not cell signal, then our entry trigger, and then 1 like that. Else it's going to be false, right? Then we're going to go ahead and put our semicolon in here, and I have an error in here somewhere. Oh, I have a space right here. Oh, that's not it. Oh, right here. So there's another equals. Oh, right here. So then 1. There we go. So what we're saying right here is if our buy signal is true, right? So if our fast length is above our slow length, then this is true. It's going to equal 1, right? So else if cell signal, right? Or excuse me, you got to remember right here that we have our exclamation point before it. So this means does not, so, or doesn't is false, right? So if not cell signal, right? Then entry trigger 1. And so what this 1 right here means is that this is counting the bars within the graph, here. So whenever you put a 1 here, this is the previous, it's counting the previous bar in the price movement right here. So basically it's saying if buy signal equals true, if the buy signal is true, then it is equal to 1. Else if it is not the sell signal, then the entry trigger is the previous bar is the last bar on there, or else it's 0, right? I hope this is I hope this is making sense. Stop me if you have any questions. And then if we have an entry trigger right here, so this is something that you, whenever you're coding something, so for every one action, you have to have the opposite action defined as well. So, and you could kind of see the way that we're going in here. So we have our fast length input, we have our slow length input, we have our fast length EMA definition, a variable, we have our slow length, we have our buy signal right here, condition. We also have our cell, right? Same thing right here. We need to be able to put in our on the other end, right? So we're going to do DEF, and we're going to do exit trigger. And basically this is going to just be the inverse of what we just wrote. So if cell signal, then 1, else if not buy signal, then exit trigger is the last candle that was measured, else is false, right? So 0 equals false is the way that you want to think about that. So then you put it in your semicolon and it should code out where it recognizes it, right? Cool. So then at this point here, we have pretty much our code all the way written here, just in 13 lines, right? But what we need to do is for it to actually show on the chart, right? So this is, the computer understands what we're saying and everything here, but we need the computer to tell us as a human so that we could actually see what is going on here, that that it's plotted on here, right? So then what you would do is you would come and you say like, okay, on your stuff here, it kind of depends how you want to, how do you want it to show, how do you want the data to show on your chart, right? So you could have it to where it changes the color of the candles. You could put the arrows, which we're going to do here, and you could put plot. So plot is our keyword that we're looking for. And basically you put in plot, it's going to tell you, okay, you need to go ahead and put in plot, the name, and then the expression that you have in here, or you can write it as plot name, and then the second part is the expression, right? And so here you got like some examples right here where it says plot SMA equals average, and then the it's calculating off the close price and then the 12 previous candles, right? So sometimes you could even come in here, just copy paste, you put it in there as well. Now for us, the way that we're going to do this is we're going to go ahead and write, so plot, and so we're going to name this as a by. This needs to be a different type of variable, right? So by, and we're going to say if the by signal and exit trigger 1 like this equals 1, right? So the difference between equals 1 and double equals 1 is it could only equal, so I know this kind of doesn't make sense, but in coding terms, it's like it is absolutely 1, right? It's not it could only be 1, I guess is what one way to say it. But if you do just 1, it's like, okay, this equals 1, and then it could change over time or what have you to a different number. But in this one is that it could only equal 1, right? And then so then 1, right? So equals true, or it is true. Else 0, so which is false, right? So then you're going to go ahead and put in your little semicolon, and then you'll do by dot sent pay strategy. Oops. Paint new strategy. And we're going to go ahead and put in here painting strategy. We'll do Boolean arrow. This is up or down. This is down, so we're going to do up. Like that. Cool. So we have an error right here. This is plot by, if by signal and exit trigger double is equal 1. Exit trigger. Oh, I forgot to say if. So you need to use your if then statements. So you put if, and then now it understands. All right, and so same thing, right? So for every action, there's a equal and opposite reaction. You need to put in your inverse here. So then if you put plot cell will equal if cell signal and entry trigger 1 absolutely equals 1, so it could only equal 1, right? Then it is 1. else, 0, semicolon, cell, dot paint strategy, and then we're going to do this one like that. And I made the same damn mistake right here. And now I have an error right here. You guys get to kind of see how frustrating it is sometimes when you put everything in here. Oh. Oh, I got this actually all the way wrong here. So set painting strategy. And then you need a bracket right here. So painting strategy. There we go. Cool. You press apply. There we go. So just to kind of go over, this is pretty much done here. And just to kind of go over here again, just a high over synopsis of all of this here. So basically what you're saying here is, so these are your user defined inputs, and then we're able to go ahead and actually see this. So you come over to where it says EMA crossover right here. This is what we named it. And then if you press on the gear, you don't have to go into the hard code in here to turn this number to whatever you want, right? So especially like if you're making this for someone else that doesn't know how to code or what have you, they're going to come and look at this and be pretty scared of what's going on, right? So you want to make it easy and for you to be able to change things right here. And you can see that what we named it right here is actually what our little input is, and then our same thing for our slow length, and then right here our average type. So you could change this to whatever you want, right? So like if you want it to be 34 and then 55, I know some people use those, whatever, but again, we're doing 9 and 12 here for today. Then our average type, if you want to change it to your average type to simple, great. You could go ahead and change it whatever you want very, very easily without having to go into the hard code to be able to change it, right? Down here is going to be your plots. So where we put our plots, so this is our buy plot, and then this is our sell plot. So these are done at with our arrows. And you could go ahead and change these to whatever you want. So like so we'll do the buy as green, and then we'll go ahead and leave the sell as red. And then we could make them a little bit bigger if you want on here, right? So that is those. And then right here, we're naming our moving average pretty much, right? So this moving average is going to be called the fast length EMA, and then this moving average is going to be called the slow length EMA. Then you come down here to where it's our buy and sell conditions, right? So our condition is going to be whenever our fast length EMA is over our slow length EMA, that's going to go ahead and be our buy signal. Whenever our fast length EMA is below the slow length EMA, that is going to go ahead and be our sell signal. Then you have right here, so our entry trigger, right? So because we only want one, and we could kind of show this here if I do. No, it'll be too crazy if I do it. So we could kind of, so basically what would happen, like I was saying, is right now, let's do a 5-minute chart. Uh-oh, there's an error in here somewhere, so give me a second. Um, yeah. Okay. So, um, it's showing, why is it plotting on every green, on every, oh, I know. Mm, 1221. Then one, then one. I know you guys are watching me do this live, so I want to make it right here. So if buy signal, then one else. If sell signal, then entry trigger. Then one else, if not sell signal, then entry. If oh, here it is. So I used the wrong one. So exit trigger, and then this should be entry trigger. Oh, no, now I really messed it up. Oh, I'm confusing this. I'm sorry, guys. Sell signal. Oh well. Um, I I feel like if I'm teaching you guys how to do this, it needs to work correctly on here. But I don't want to take all night for you guys to be able to do this. So um basically the main point of me showing you all this I don't know if you guys are still there or not, but the internet cut out there for a second. So give me a second.